So if you thought that after all these major announcements from AMD and Nvidia, it was safe to build a PC, I would tell you don't build it yet. Stop, just wait a little bit longer. I'm going to tell you the main reasons and the biggest factors why you should wait just a little bit longer before you build your PC. Let's get started. Hey guys, Tiago with Classical Technology here. Remember to subscribe, smash that like button, hit the notification bell for more content like this. We're always talking about PC hardware, doing really nice water-cooled builds. So let's talk about the topic at hand. Why you should wait to build your PC. We're going into early November now. There have been so many announcements from both AMD as well as Nvidia. I think Intel had some announcement in there, but it got kind of washed away with all of the hype between Nvidia and AMD. So let's talk about some of the biggest factors why you should definitely wait before building your PC, and that's if you're thinking about putting together an entire PC. And of course, that's considering if you're thinking about putting together an entire PC. If you're just upgrading certain parts, if it's been released yet, you can go ahead and add it to your system. If you were looking for a GPU, for example, and you already got an RTX 3080 or 3070 amongst a few lucky individuals, then you can go ahead and rejoice. So the number one factor as to why you should wait for building your PC, it's still going to continue to be the GPU. Now, I know what you may be saying. The NVIDIA's RTX 3000 series GPU are out, but they've been out in very limited stock. So unless you are able to get a 3080, 90, or 3070, you're going to be sort of out of luck or really trying very hard to be able to catch one of these as they come in stock during the next few months. Remember, Nvidia told us that it's not going to be until 2021 that stock will normalize. So you're going to have perhaps a very tough time at finding one of these GPUs. But we also have a very significant factor in the GPU space. And that's going to be AMD's announcement of RDNA 2 Big NAVI. This is going to range from the RX 6800, the 6800 XT, and the chart-topping 6900 XT. These GPUs are pretty much AMD's first foray against NVIDIA in the very high-end market in a very, very long time. So they're extremely exciting, they're priced really well, and they're going to be coming out on November 18th for the 6800 and the 6800 XT, and the big boy 6900 XT will be coming in December. This is a great reason to wait to build your PC. Of course, I would say if you're looking for a GPU in general, either a single piece for your build that you already have, or to build an entire new computer, if you happen to find a 3080 or 3070 in stock now between the release of the AMD GPUs, I would advise you to get it just because first, the NVIDIA GPUs are great, regardless of the hype of the AMD GPUs. In theory, they have a lot of benefits even over AMD, and stock is going to be so difficult that if you can actually find one, I would advise you just to get it. Their price to performance is fantastic. Even the 3070 and 3080 are really well-performing GPUs for a very good price. Now, if you can't find them anyway, of course, that's why you wait for AMD's launch. Who knows if stock is going to be any better? It really looks like that stock is going to be difficult no matter what. Like I said before, AMD doesn't really have any special type of magic that's going to give them a lot more stock than NVIDIA because the demand, sure, the VRAM that they're using is not the special GDDR6X. It's just the regular one, just like NVIDIA uses on the 3070. But regardless, the demand is still massively high. So I think the AMD launch is still going to be difficult, but hopefully by then things will have improved a little bit. As we saw from the RTX 3070 launch, it was still very difficult for most people, but it seems like around 10 to 12% of people who were looking for that GPU were able to get it, which certainly is still a low number, but considerably higher than those for the RTX 3080 and 3090. They were available in much greater quantities, and I'm sure AMD is well aware of the massive demand that's coming for these GPUs, so I'm sure they've been ramping up production as much as they can. So certainly this is the biggest reason not to build your PC now. GPUs are not only being released by AMD, but they're going to be in better stock, and generally that's going to mean better prices closer to MSRP, so you don't have to deal with scalpers. That's going to be happening throughout November and December. It's still going to be difficult to get a GPU, but as we saw with the RTX 3070 launch, your chances are at least a little bit better. So I would say after November 18th, if you can get your hands on the new CPUs and GPUs, certainly that's going to be a much better time to build a PC than right now where stock is still bad and things haven't been released yet. The number two big item that we have to talk about is going to be the CPUs. In a way, this may be even a little bit more major than the GPUs because AMD's Zen 3 Ryzen 5000 CPUs are launching on November 5th, and from what we've seen from AMD so far, these are going to be absolutely epic. In my opinion, I think these are going to be the final nail in the coffin for Intel. These are going to be the CPUs that absolutely dominate every sector of the market. Ryzen 3000 was dominating price to performance in multi-threaded applications like the 3900X and the 3950X, but now AMD is also going for and taking the gaming crown from Intel, and I don't really think Intel has too much to respond to with AMD. I think these new CPUs are going to be absolutely amazing. Of course, there's only been 4 announced so far: 5600X, 5800X, 5900X, 5950X. They pretty much are the same as last generation in terms of core counts, but they've had significant improvements to the architecture for Zen 3, including lower latency, better IPC, higher boost clocks. That all translates to much better gaming with significantly reduced bottlenecks for all of these hyper powerful GPUs that are coming out from both NVIDIA as well as AMD. Now, other things that Ryzen 5000 will also have, according to AMD, when you pair one of these with one of their new RDNA 2 GPUs, there's going to be a special option in BIOS that actually allows a Ryzen 5000 CPU to unlock more performance from a similar AMD GPU. Now, this is only going to work in synergy with these AMD products, so who knows if that's going to be worth it or not, but certainly this is pretty exciting that at least now they're really starting to pair their CPUs with their GPUs, unlocking more performance. Now, this certainly is going to put Intel in a very tough spot. That's why I recommend wait until Zen 3 comes out. I really think those will be the CPUs to get. Of course, after these 4 are initially released, if your budget is going to be a little bit lower, they are going to be coming out with sort of the non-X variants like the 5600. Most likely they'll probably have some lower SKUs that are more budget friendly. I know that at $299 for the 5600X, certainly MSRP has gone up across the board for Zen 3, indicating AMD's dominance in the CPU market as well as really the better performance that they're putting out. So of course I think the higher MSRP certainly is worth it, but at the same time it certainly puts gamers that were looking at a 3600 price level CPU, kind of leaves them out in the cold. So we have to wait for the non-X 5600, may come in between $220 to $250, and of course slightly lower CPU SKUs that maybe come in closer to the $200 and $180 mark. Of course, the 3600 has been very popular. You've been able to find it on sale as low as $160, so certainly gamers that want to stay within the budget, you'll certainly have to wait a little bit. Right now, the 5600X is going to be the cheapest one, but certainly there will be more coming. The third important reason why you should wait to build your PC, that's because we're entering the holiday season. The first pretty much big event is going to be Black Friday at the end of November. Then of course we have close to the holiday season with Christmas and everything. Now, being realistic, I really wouldn't expect many discounts on the hot items like GPUs and CPUs, but you can bet, just like with the recent Amazon Prime Day, you can find a lot of great discounts on everything else that you need to build a computer. For example, Amazon Prime Day, I saw so many really nicely priced hard drives, SSDs, NVMe drives, so stuff like that, that's very important. All of the storage got bigger and the price got significantly cheaper. Of course, everything from gaming mice to keyboard to monitors to even computer cases and even motherboards, those are all certainly going to be on sale by the end of the year. I think pretty much the only major, very popular items that you're not really going to get sales on, that's going to be on the new CPUs that are coming out, especially from AMD, the Ryzen 5000, as well as all of the new GPUs that have been released like RDNA 2, as well as the RTX 3000 series. Now, you may be able to find a lot of discounts on previous generation hardware. For example, maybe some of the older Intel CPUs, the 10th generation before the new one comes out, as well as Ryzen 3000. So if you don't necessarily need the latest and greatest, you can certainly save a lot of money, and there's a good chance with the new products being released and more availability in November and December, there's a good chance that the current generation that's out now before the new stuff comes out will be discounted discounted a significant amount, and that's going to be maybe 20 series GPUs if you can still find them, maybe even on the used market if you look around. Not to mention AMD typically keeps around their previous generation CPUs and certainly slashes those prices. So definitely this is going to be a major reason to wait. Around Black Friday, I think we're going to have a lot better deals for all of the PC components, not CPUs and GPUs, but at least everything else. And of course, going into the holiday season in December, we should see those sales continue until the end of the year. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about building a PC now. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.